Yes. So Einstein was unemployed and he became graduate at the age of 21 years old. And in which year did this happen? It happened in 1900. Okay. So in 1902, as your friend Saranya told, 1902, he secured a job, a technical expert job in patent office in Bern. Before that, what he was doing? Very good. He was teaching assistant for how many years?
2 years.
2 years, because in 1900 he graduated and he was unemployed at that time. So from 1900 to 1902 he worked as a teaching assistant and he even took private lessons also. Okay. Yes. While he was supposed to be assessing, please look at paragraph number 8. I am reading it out from paragraph number 8. I won't let you know the line because it's your duty to find the line. Okay. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Okay. So when he was a technical expert, what was his work? His work was to assess people who are giving their inventions. Okay. For example, if I have invented this chalk and he is Einstein, I'll go and give it and this chalk will come to him. So what is he supposed to do? He's supposed to give it a patent. What do you understand by patent? What is given in your textbook? The patent meaning? Sai God, please. Patent.
A document which gives the rights of an invention to an inventor.
Yes, that is a patent, right? Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you so much. So this chalk was invented by me. So I need a document which registers that this chalk was invented by me, not by anyone else. Tomorrow, if you come up with a chalk invention saying that I was the first one to invent the chalk, then I will come. No, I did it. I have got a document which has been released by the government. See? If I'll just say it, no one would believe me, right? So I need to have a document. I need to have a proof. Just like we all have got birth certificates given by, yes, exactly. Very good. Just like we all have got birth certificates to show the proof of our birth, similarly, your patent document, the document also acts like that. Okay, it's a piece of paper which tells you that who was the first person who invented that thing. So when all these things used to come to Einstein, what was his work? His work was to look at the inventions. His work was to work on the patent part of the inventions. Of course, he was doing that work. Along with that, what he did? He worked on his own inventions. He sat over there on the desk and started thinking about his inventions. He started thinking about theoretical physics. That's why he jokingly called his desk as Bureau of Theoretical Physics. What do you understand by bureau, children? It's a group of people who are working, who are sharing their ideas, sitting together and sharing their ideas. But I wanted you people to look at dictionary and find out the exact meaning of it. Okay, so that is what you mean about bureau. Okay, so what was he calling his desk as? Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Okay, now why is it theoretical physics? Why not practical physics? What do you understand by working? Was he having time to go to physics lab and do the things, practicals?
He was thinking about it.
Very good. He was not having any equipment with him. Okay, if at all he would be having equipment and if he would be working with the physics equipment, then you could call it as theoretical and practical physics. But it was not practical physics. It was just the theoretical. Theory means what? What I am doing now is theory. If I'll take you to Einstein's desk, if I'll show you Einstein's desk, if I'll show you so many things about Einstein's, if you look at it, if you feel that, that is called practical. You should know it by yourself. Practicals are something which you know by yourself. Theory are something which are put forward to you by someone else. That is theory. Got it, children? Yes, so that's why he used to call it as Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Yes. Shall we go to paragraph 9? Yes, we will do from paragraph 9 till 13. Okay. So you please follow me when I am reading and kindly pay attention to the pronunciations. Have pencils in your hands, children. Paragraph number 9, starting. One of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, Two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. E is equal to mc square. In this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, m for mass, and c for the speed of light in a vacuum, about 3 lakh kilometers per second. When Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. The pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. We'll end till there. We won't do the rest of the things because till there it has ended according to the textbook also. So I'll read it again. You please follow me, children. One of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. E is equal to mc square. In this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, m for mass, and c for the speed of light in a vacuum, which is about 3 lakh kilometers per second. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was too old for him. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. The pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. Accurate means exact, exactly the same. What does C stand for in the equation E is equal to mc square? Venkatesh, what does C stand for in the equation E is equal to mc square? You can check your textbook.
E is equal to
mc square. In that, what does C stand for? C.
speed of light.
Then what is it? Speed of light is correct. Yes. Where? In a vacuum. Yes. And what is the speed of light in a vacuum?
3 lakhs.
3 lakhs what? Kilometers? Let's go to the next paragraph. Paragraph number 10. When did Albert wanted to marry Mileva? When did Albert wanted to marry Mileva? What's your name, girl? Akshaya. Yes, Akshaya. Please tell me. Very good. After he finished his studies, he wanted to get married to Mileva. Why was Einstein's mother against him marrying Mileva? Sai Gaud. Because Mileva was 3 years older than him. And There was another reason. There were two reasons for that. One was that, and which is the other one? She was intelligent. Mileva was intelligent. She was just like a book. See, she says that she is a book like you. His mother says Mileva is a book like Einstein. She was not happy with that. Please sit down. Thank you so much. Yes. Look for the word from the paragraph which means not happy, worried. Look for the word from the paragraph which means worried. Saranya.
Bothered.
Very good. Bothered. Please sit down. Children, are you all underlining these words? Please do that. We'll move further to paragraph number 11. Look for the word which means desire in paragraph number 11. Desire, or which something wants, someone wants something, someone is longing for that. Look for that word which has this meaning. Priyusha?
Ambition.
Very good. Ambition. Please sit down. Ambition means desire. Okay, suppose she wants to be a CEO, so that is her ambition in life. That is what she desires to be in her life. Okay, so that's how you use the word ambition. Yeah, I think those are the difficult words that you have got in these paragraphs. Now let us go to the explanation part of paragraph 9. One of the famous papers in 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Okay, so when did he release his paper? He was working, yes, 1905. Yes, so he got his first job, the actual job, into the physics department or into the science department as a technical expert. When did this happen? In which year did this happen? 1902. So when did he produce his paper? How many years difference is there? So within 3 years he worked hard like anything. He really put so much pressure on his mind, and then he came out with a theory of relativity, special theory of relativity. Okay, so what is this theory? What does this theory tells? Yes, time and distance are not perfect. Okay, how they are not perfect? See, they are explaining it. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again with a journey. After a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. Okay, so two vehicles are moving. Think, for example, these are the vehicles. Two vehicles are moving. There's a clock. This is vehicle number 1, vehicle number 2. Okay, vehicle number 1 is going in, both of them started at the same time, but because of some problem this vehicle is going a bit slower than this vehicle. Okay, at the end these two clocks are running. Okay, at the end when they reach the finish line, the clocks may show difference in time. Okay, so your theory of relativity explains that why is there difference in that. Okay, there are so many reasons which would act upon these two clocks for them to show difference in time. One is speed, where it is given E is equal to mc square. One is speed and the other one is mass of that object or the entire mass of this entire vehicle. It could be anything. So these things will act upon the energy, and that energy will make these clocks to show different time. It has something to do with these things. You will understand each and everything in a proper way once you go to your higher classes. Okay, if I'll tell you all these things in detail now, then I think you would get confused. Okay, so that is about theory of relativity. Okay, so that's what it says. If they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast in relative to the other, then what happens? The time is not constant. It varies. It varies between the two. It varies the time varies between these two clocks. That's what theory of relativity states. Okay, so from this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relation between mass and energy. And what is the formula? E is equals to mc square. Now number 10. While Einstein was solving his most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. So when he was busy with this physics thing, when he was busy with coming up with theory of relativity, his life was unraveling. What does the meaning of, what does your textbook tells about the meaning of unraveling? Yes, starting to fail. That means his private life, he was not caring much about the private life. I think we discussed this in the first class when I was talking about scientists, how their life is. They don't put more efforts into their private life because their entire life goes on in solving one particular formula or in inventing one particular thing. Okay, in that way, our Einstein was also very busy in derivating this particular formula. So he did not pay much attention. So what happened? Slowly, the connection which he had with Mileva Maric, whom he planned to marry, that relationship was becoming distant. She was going distance from him, and he was also going away from her because of all these issues. Okay. Then what happened? Albert wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies. He really wanted to marry her because they both were in love. Okay, as we have read here, what did he say in his letter? He said, when we both, I shall be proud and happy when we both brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. I think I explained you what does he mean by victorious conclusion. So his victorious conclusion was failing right in front of his eyes. He wanted to marry her, but it wasn't happening. Why? Why it wasn't happening? Because his mother was against it. It was not him, but it was his mother who didn't wanted him to marry Mileva. Why? Because she thought Mileva is 3 years elder to Einstein. Not thought, she is actually 3 years elder to Einstein. So that was there in his mother's mind, and also she felt that this particular girl whom Einstein is going to marry is very intelligent. She's very intelligent and she's also a book just like Einstein. Okay.